Hi friends, welcome to the K4 project. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this magical candle cozy. Hi friends, welcome to the K4 project. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this magical candle cozy. This is a granny square that I turned into a cozy by seaming two of the star granny squares together and then manipulating the bind off stitches to fit this mason jar. And the size mason jar I have is a wide mouth 16 ounce. But you can also use the ones that have a thinner, a smaller top. I don't know what they're called really, but they're not wide mouth. But we can manipulate it so that this granny square will also fit that kind of mason jar. And so I'm using these 4 candles. Here's a melted candle inside here. Here's my first attempt to add it in the red. And there's still a candle in there. And these look so pretty at night burning. Just beware to not let the acrylic yarn go over the lip of the mason jar because that might melt the fabric and could then be a fire hazard. So just be aware of that. But it's not an issue. And to make this, I used my stash yarn. I had some impeccable yarn here. The impeccable yarn is by Loops and Threads. And you can get it at Michael's craft store. It's really inexpensive, but you can use a cotton yarn or even a lace yarn would be beautiful doing this. I used a size weight 4 yarn, but I think you can work with just about any yarn 4 and under, like size 4 or size 3 yarns, and those would be good for this project. So what you'll need is about 26 grams of stash yarn, the wide mouth mason jar, 16 ounces. You can find these at thrift stores or just the grocery store, or hopefully you have some around from canning. I used a size 6 crochet needle, and just to note, because this was when I was making this, I realized this for the first time. Size 6 and size 7 crochet hooks have the same lettering. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. I haven't Googled it to see why yet. They're just the medium size crochet hook, and I suppose that's why they share the letter. But we're going to go with a slightly smaller crochet hook in the size G and use size 6. And let's begin. So I have a stitch marker here, but I didn't use it consistently through the whole time. So if you don't have a stitch marker, don't want to use it, don't worry. But if you do, then it just makes things, you know, much more clear. So we're going to make a slip knot and chain 8, or you can do a magic ring and single chain 8 stitches. I'm going to do a magic ring, and so I'm going to lie the yarn tail, which is the end of the yarn, over my 2 fingers, and then I'm going to wrap it around the 2 fingers to create an X, and then dangle the 2 strands of yarn in the palm of my hand, secure the yarn tail with my thumb to my index finger, and take my crochet hook and go under the first strand of yarn and then over the second strand and catch it to pull it through. And then you're going to go back under the second strand with the yarn over like that, and then pull that through the loop on your hook. And now you have a chain created on the magic ring, and you can let go of the yarn on your fingers, and there's your magic ring. So now I'm going to single crochet 8 stitches around the magic ring. So yarn through the hole and yarn over the hook, back through the hole, yarn over and through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. And that's your first single chain. We can put a marker in to mark that first stitch if you have a stitch marker. And that way you won't be having to guess where you began and ended. Okay, so now next 7 single chains in through the loop, yarn over, back through the loop, yarn over through the 2 loops on the hook, and then 6 more single chains. All right, let's count and see. So these V's will count as 1 stitch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now you're going to take the yarn tail and you're going to pull it to tighten the ring. And you might want to leave a little hole because that looks really pretty with the candle light going through it. Or you can choose to tighten it even more. I'm going to leave a little hole. And then I'm going to slip stitch the loop that's on my crochet hook with the first stitch from this round 1. So I have to do a yarn over. And keep the yarn tail available, but don't crochet with it. I'm using the working yarn that's connected to this ball of yarn. So slip stitch this. Oh, there we go. And then I'm going to chain 1. So now we've finished round 1 and we have 8 single chain stitches going all the way around. For round 2, we're going to do 2 single chains in the first stitch from round 1, place a marker, and then we're going to do 2 single chains in the remainder of the 7 stitches so that we have 16 stitches in total. So we'll go to the stitch that's directly to the left of the crochet hook right here, and we're going to do 2 single chains. So there's 1 single chain and then 2 single chain in that first stitch. Now I'm going to place a marker to guide me in knowing when I finish the row how many stitches I actually have done. So I've done 2 single chains, so I'm going to go to the first single chain from this round and place the marker. And now I'm going to do 14 more single chains by single chaining twice in each of the remaining 7 stitches. So here's stitch number 2 with 2 single chains. If I'm going too fast, you can slow down this video, or if you already know what to do, just speed it up to the next section. This is our visual, right? These make great gifts. My friend just moved into a new house, so I'm going to bring her this candle holder as a housewarming gift. Okay, let's count the stitches. I start with the crochet hook. Do not count the loop that's on your crochet hook. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now I'm going to slip stitch the loop that's on my hook into the first stitch from this round. yarn over, and then go through the first stitch and then the hook loop and chain 1. And now we're ready for round 3. So we're going to chain 3. We already had a chain 1 from the last round. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to place the stitch marker on that first chain from this round. So 1, 2, 3 would be the 4th down from the hook. So I've placed the marker and I've done 4 chains total. And now I'm going to do the sequence of double crochet in the next stitch and then chain 1 and repeat this 15 times. So to double crochet in the next stitch, I'm going to do, let me count and make sure which one to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I'm going to double crochet immediately to the left of the chain right in here by yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, yarn over and go back through the stitch. I have 3 loops on the needle, yarn over, go through 2 loops. There's 2 loops remaining, yarn over, go through the remaining 2 loops. So that's the first stitch. And now we're going to chain 1. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the remaining 15 stitches. Remaining 14 stitches. Because now I have 2. I've done 2 now. Now I have to do 14 more. So yarn over, insert into the stitch, yarn over, back through the stitch, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops. And continue to do this in every stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, and be sure to count the double crochets around the circle before you connect the round. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. See, I have 1 extra, so I did 1 more than I was supposed to. And that's what I wanted to show you, that there should be 16 of these strands, like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now I have 16, and so I'm going to slip stitch this final loop on the crochet hook with the first row, but I'm going to slip stitch at the top of this chain. So at the third chain from the slip marker. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to slip stitch up here. And I can remove my stitch marker too, because that can get in the way. So we got yarn over and then slip through. Okay, and it's going to be a little wobbly, it's not going to be flat, but we just did this portion right in here. Boop, 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 boop. It doesn't look it yet, but it will. That's that portion. So we've done the circle, and I didn't close this circle as much, so there's more of a hole to see the candle than this one. See, that's a tighter hole, but we just did this portion right here. So it doesn't look it yet, but you'll see in just a minute. So for this next round, we are going to do, we're going to work in the spaces that we've created in between these double crochets, like this. So this space here, and so on. There's going to be 3 double crochets in each space, and then a chain 3 and 3 double crochets again in the same space. So let me show you how we're going to do that. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll place a marker in the third double crochet, in the third chain, just to know where we started. And then by working in the spaces made from round 3's double crochets, starting in this space, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So we'll start with the first double crochet, and now you can't see that third one very easily, but there's one strand, 2 strand, 3 strand, and those are 3 double crochets. So we've done 3 double crochets, and now the next space is 1 single crochet. Now in the next space, we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. And then that is going to start your sequence, which is 1 space of single crochet and the next space of 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet. So let's do 3 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to do 3 double crochet back into that same space right there. So we got to do 3 double crochet. Okay, so that's the sequence. Single chain in a double crochet space, and then the next would be 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet, and just keep repeating that around the entire round. And these are your star petals, I guess you could call, star tips that we're creating. So that's the first one. So now we're going to single crochet in that next space. And now we're going to do 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet in the following space. Chain 3 and 3 double crochets in that same space to form the star tip. Okay, there's our second star tip. So that's what we're creating right now. So now single chain in the next space. And then 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet. Let me undo that. Let me redo those chains. 1, 3 chains, 2, 3. Now 3 double crochet back in that same space. Now, don't be intimidated if you are a beginner, because I am too. I've just learned how to do it and I really enjoy it. It's addictive, and I love that crochet projects give a quick results. So now we do 1 single chain in the next space, and then 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet in the following space. I've been a knitter for many years, 3 chains, but now I'm finally starting to learn crochet and I love it. I love making flowers and granny squares and just learning new concepts. Just expanding my toolbox. Okay, so I've got 2 double crochets in there. Let me get one more. And now we have half of 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half done. Single chain in the next stitch. And now 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet. Now if you want the written pattern for this candle cozy, you can go to the part 2 of this video and it shows the written part and you can take screenshots. Chain 3. Or if you want to support the K4 project, you can go to my website at thek4project.etsy.com and you can purchase the pattern, and it gives more detail than what I'm showing here, plus pictures. And when you purchase the pattern, a portion of the proceeds goes towards animal welfare. So if you end up buying this pattern, thank you. So let's do single chain in the next, single crochet in the next stitch, and then 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet. Okay, 3 chain. Three double crochet. Oops, somehow I unraveled the yarn, so let's redo that again. I've done 1 double crochet, I need 2 more. And if you're not sure how to count the double crochet, it's just one of these long bars. So that's that bar here is a double crochet, that bar here is another double crochet, and then that bar there is a 3rd double crochet. So now we need to do a single crochet. We're getting close to the round, finishing the round. 3 double crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochet back into that same space. Whoops, let me tighten that up. Okay, then we're going to single chain into that next space, and then going back to the first stitches in that space right there, we're going to do 3 double crochet. And then instead of doing 3 chain, we're going to chain 1. And then you're going to single chain into that slip marker right here. And that's going to help create that next round. And you can go right into the space. You don't have to go into the stitch itself, but single chain it, and that'll create that tip for that star. And then you have 8 star petals, and this is what it looks like so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's what it looks like here. And that's the portion. We're almost finished with the first granny square. 1 single crochet to finish round 4. Okay, so we just finished round 4 and we have 8 petals, 8 star petals. These are the star petals right here, and the center of each petal has some space, and we're going to be working into the spaces in the center of those petals. So for round 5, we're going to begin in the center of the first petal that's connected to the crochet hook. So count 3 double crochets within that petal to find the center, and you're going to do 1 single chain in that space. So 1 single chain, and I need to move that out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to do a repeat, and it's going to be chain 3, and then in the next center petal we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, and then 1 single chain in the center of the next petal. So I will do it with you. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Next center petal, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So here's 1, 2, 3, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets back in that same space. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do 3 chains, And then we're going to do one single chain in the next petal center. So we go to the next petal tip in the center and do that single chain there. And that is going to create the corner of the piece. And we need to repeat that now around the entire, around all the petals of this piece until we get to this section where we began. So we're going to go repeat this 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So we're going to do 3 chains of 3. Let me try that again. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then in the next center space of this petal, we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So here's the first double crochet. Get some yarn. Here's 2. And 3. Now chain 3. And then 3 double crochet back into that same space. One more. Three double crochet, or no, sorry, 3 chain, and then 1 single crochet into the next center petal tip. Okay, now we've done 2 corners. We'll do 2 more corners by repeating 3 single chain. Actually, 3 chain. I mix up those words a lot, sorry. So those are 3 chain. Now we're going to do 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet in the next petal tip right here in the center. So we've got 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and 3 double crochet, chain 3, and then single chain into the center of the next petal tip. Oh, we're so close. Now we have to do 1 more corner. So chain 3, then in the next center petal tip, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, three double crochet, now we're going to chain 3, so we're just finishing round 5 and I've chained 3, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet from this round to end the round. Okay, so now we're in round 6, and I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to front post single crochet in the petal tip of every other tip on this square. And so we're going to start this row by doing the front post single crochet from round 5. So to do a front post, you have the piece facing you, and you insert the hook from the right space into the left space from behind. So you go down and through, and then yarn over the hook, and then pull it through to the right space, and then single crochet that space. And now we're going to do a sequence where we're going to do chain, we're going to single crochet 3 into the chain 3 space, and then we're going to do 1 single chain in the 2 double crochet spaces that are next to it, and then 3 single chain, chain 1, 3 single chain, and I will walk you through the rest of it and show you the repeat in just a minute. So first we're going to do 3 single chain, or 3 single crochet, sorry. I mix up those words all the time and I can't help it. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet through each of the 2 double crochet spaces. So here's the first single chain, and then the second single chain. Now we're going to do 3 single chain, 1 chain, 3 single chain. Oops, so 3 single chain. One chain, 3 single chain, now we're single chain in the next 2 double crochet spaces, and then 3 single chain in the next chain 3 space, and then we're going to repeat what we just did 3 more times. So that's the first corner. That is this right here. And so now we're going to do the next repeat where we front post single crochet the star tip or petal tip right here by inserting the hook from the right space into the left space from the back. Yarn over the crochet hook and slip it back through the spaces towards the right. And now you have 2 loops on the crochet hook. So then yarn over and single crochet that through, and then repeat those 3 single chain, 2 single chain, 3 single chain, chain 1, 3 single chain, 2 single chain, 3 single chain. So here we go, 3 single chain, oops, 2, we got 2 there, 1 more. 1 single chain in each of the next 2 double crochet spaces. Three single chain, chain 1, 3 single chain in the corner. Chain 1, 3 single chain. One single chain in each of the next 2 double crochets, 3 single chain, Okay, so we've done 2 corners. So now we're going to do the front post single crochet into the petal tip or the star tip. And then 3 single chains, 3 single crochet, sorry. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 double crochet spaces. And then 3 single crochet, 1 chain, 3 single crochet in the corner. One chain, 3 single crochet, okay, and 1 single crochet in the next 2 double crochet spaces. Three single crochet in the next chain 3 space. And now our final repeat for the last corner. So front post single crochet in the petal tip. Three single crochet. One single crochet in the next 2 double crochet spaces. Three single crochet, 1 chain, 3 single crochet in the next corner. One chain. One single crochet in the next 2 double crochet spaces. And then 3 single crochets into the next 3 chain space. Okay. Now we are going to slip stitch the loop on the crochet hook into the first single chain stitch from the round, and then we're going to cut the yarn, and we're going to slip that yarn tail all the way through, and then we'll secure the yarn tail by weaving it in so that it blends in with the piece. And I will weave this in later, but this is what the square looks like, and it's looking good. So what you'll do next is you'll make a second square, and I'll meet you back here to seam them together. Okay, I've got 2 squares made, and now we are going to sew the squares together to create a seam on the side that's going to look like this. And so pick one of the squares and choose a side, doesn't matter what. And then what you're going to do is you're going to half double crochet along this entire side. So I'll pick that square, and then I'm going to start in the corner here, and then we're going to half double crochet this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slip the yarn through the first stitch on this side, and I'm going to half double crochet down that same stitch. And I'm going to weave in that yarn tail as I go. And I'll just half double crochet each stitch along that side of the granny square. And I'm weaving in that yarn tail as I do this. And that's enough of the weaving in of the yarn tail. I'll just cut the remaining portion of that, but it's nice and secured. This is what it's looking like so far. Halfway through the side. Okay, one more here. So now we have this side facing, and I could do one more stitch. I think I will, just because it's curving inwards, and I want this side and the next side to be straight as well. So we'll add one more stitch, and it doesn't have to be precise. It just has to match the next side. So we've got this row done, and now we're going to take the second square and we're going to have right sides facing. So this is the right side facing up, and then the second square will have the right side facing down, and then that way wrong sides are facing on the outside as I pick them up. So this is the wrong side, the side with the yarn tail, and this is the wrong side, the side of the yarn tail. So the right sides are facing each other. I'm going to turn the piece around so that the piece that I just did the half double crochet is towards me, and then the other square is away from me. And I'm going to single crochet these two pieces together by matching the stitches from each side. So I'll pick up the first stitch here and go through. Oh, I'm going to chain one actually before I start, so I can go through the first stitch now of the first square, and then I'll go through the first stitch of the second square in the corner. Let's do that corner stitch, and we're going to single crochet that together. And we're going to crochet these two pieces together, if I can get it together. Here we go. It's pretty tight, that first stitch, for some reason, but it shouldn't be after this. Okay, so now I'm going to single crochet. I'm going through the whole stitch on each side and single crocheting it. Right sides are facing, and they should match up. If they're off by a stitch, that's okay. We can correct that when we do our final finishing stitches, which is just a slip stitch. I'm just sandwiching these pieces together. You can block this if you want. I did for the first sample I made, and then I didn't for the second, and they pretty much looked similar. I mean, blocking gives it a little bit more of a finished look, but really for this project you could go either way. If you're someone who likes to block their projects, then go for it. Since this is acrylic, I just steamed it. And I can steam it after I put it on the mason jar, and that would work just fine. I have one of those little Conair steamers, which I highly recommend. They are really great. I used to use an iron steamer, but having a little Conair handheld steamer, you can do all different kinds of shapes, like steaming it onto this mason jar, which an iron would be difficult to do. Okay, we're almost at the end of the row here. And I'm going to pick up that corner stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet there. Okay, so now I've done, this is the inside, the wrong side of the fabric where the yarn tails are. There's the single crochet row, and now I'm going to cut this yarn and slip it through. I think I'll slip it through now like that. And I will weave in that yarn tail down the seam of the single crochet, just to start cleaning things up, because this can get a little messy. I mean, not messy, but too many yarn tails starts to get overwhelming, and then I don't want to do anything with the yarn tails because I'm not a fan of cleaning them up. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Let me show you what this first side looks like. I've done a half double crochet here and a single crochet down here, and that's what this looks like. And this is what it looks like here. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to pick the side that has the single crochet is the side I'm going to do the half double crochet on. Okay, so I'm going to half double crochet down this row here. So I'll insert my hook in the corner, slip this yarn through, and now I'm going to half double crochet through that same space, and then I'll half double crochet throughout the row, and I'll weave in this yarn tail as I go. I'm holding that yarn tail in the back close to the piece so I can weave it in, so I don't have to deal with it later, because I am not a fan of weaving in yarn tails. So if I can take care of cleaning up the yarn tails as I go, I find that better, gives me peace of mind. Okay, one more weave, and then I think the rest we can just cut later. So we will finish half double crochet down the line. Couple more. Okay, we'll do one more in that corner to straighten out that edge. And that's what that looks like so far. Don't worry about any little bump or irregularity right here. We'll clean it up in just a few minutes. But since I have this on the hook, I'm not going to cut it yet. I'm going to connect the pieces together. So you can also measure your piece too. Like if it's too wide or too loose, then you might want to do an extra row. I think with one more single chain row, I can manipulate this to be nice and snug onto the mason jar. So I'm going to single chain this piece together by having the right sides facing, so the yarn tails and the wrong sides are facing me, or on the outside. And I'll turn the piece over so that the crochet stitch is to the right, and I will single chain those pieces together. So I'm going to do a chain one, and then chain through that stitch at the corner and chain through the stitch at the corner of the other piece, and single crochet. And now I'm going to single crochet each stitch together. Let's see where we are. Here we are. I was having trouble matching it up. Whatever you do to one side, just be consistent on how you're single crocheting on the other side. And don't worry if they don't exactly match up at the end of the row. We can correct that when we do our final slip stitch around the edges to clean up the edges. And if you're unsure if you're matching your edges, just fold them together and press them and see where they're at. This looks pretty good. I feel like I might be off one stitch on one of the sides of the squares, but again, it's not a big deal. It's still going to look really pretty. All right. I'm gonna get that corner stitch, I think. I'll try. Okay, so I think I'm going to cut the yarn. Do I want to cut the yarn? I don't need to cut the yarn. You can cut the yarn here. But I'm going to try and use it. So I'm going to pull this to create this nice big hole. And I'm going to keep that while I just clean up the yarn tails on the inside for the pieces that I haven't exactly woven in. So the center stitches I haven't woven in exactly. If you have a smaller crochet hook, it's often easier to weave in the yarn tails. I just don't happen to have one with me right now. So I'm just going to weave in. I know I wove in that already. I wove in that already. I wove in this. I wove in this. Okay, this piece I need to do a little loop to secure it a little bit more. I basically do a slip knot through it. And now what I'm going to do is just clean up these yarn tails. So it's one less thing I have to do at the end. Careful not to cut the piece, right? Okay. Now, one more thing we want to do is turn this right side out. so that the good side is facing. Anyway, I'm going to do some finishing edges to the top and bottom of this. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to slip stitch the top piece, and I'm going to slip stitch the bottom piece, and I'll do it by slip stitching 3 stitches and then skipping 1 stitch. So I'll show you how that looks. So start for the first one. Here's the slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch, and I'm just stitching into that single crochet at the bottom row, right? And then I'm going to skip 1 stitch and then slip stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch, and then skip the next stitch. And this is what it's looking like so far. So I got to skip 1 stitch and then slip stitch. And this will clean it up quite a bit. Slip stitch, 3. This is what it looks like. Skip 1 stitch, skip that stitch, slip stitch, and loosely do this. Don't do it so tight that it won't fit over the mason jar. 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3, wait, nope, I already did that one, so next one, 3, skip, 1, 2, and then this is where the seamed section was, so it's good to even this out. 3, oops, I forgot to skip. And don't worry if you don't remember to skip every 3 stitches, it's just a little helpful. I think I'm gonna do that section actually to clean it up because there's a little bump there and I don't want that to remain as a bump. Three, and then we've got skip that stitch, and we have 1, 2. Looks like I may have cut some yarn tail too short, so you might want to skip over this section. 2, 3, skip, 1, 2, 3, 1, I skipped, so I'm just 1, 2, what do we do here? So this is a little bumpy, right? So we're just trying to clean this up. 2, and then here's the final of that row, so I'm gonna cut it, slip it, and then I'm going to feed that through to the other side. And I'm going to then weave in this yarn tail down the single crochet stitches as follows. And we'll slip stitch that last one and then cut. One more. So now we're gonna, that's the bottom. Oh, we got that yarn tail there to clean up too. Okay, so now we have the bottom piece done, and I slip stitched all around. And now we'll do the top piece, and I'll start where the single crochet is because that'll be easier to clean up later. So I'm going to slip stitch a piece in, and remember to weave in this first yarn tail if you want. Otherwise I'll show you, I can weave that in down the slip stitch seam. One, two, three, skip. One, two, three, whoop, three, skip. One, two, three, skip. Whoops. One, two, three. I'm gonna skip. One, two, three, skip. One, two, three, skip. One, two, three, skip. One, almost done with this section, and we're almost finished. Okay, I'm gonna do one, whoops. Oh, I gotta redo that one. I'm gonna do one, two, nope. Two, see, I've got to clean up that bump a little bit. Three. Okay, and now we're gonna cut the yarn tail, feed it through to connect to the first stitch, and then we're gonna weave these yarn tails down the single crochet seam from the other side. So I'll do one at a time. And then this side I'll go the opposite way if I can. Let's see. Doesn't want to go the opposite way. Anyway. So this you could block or steam to flatten it some more, but it really doesn't matter. And you can tie a knot here or just cut it. I'll tie a knot just to have another knot. I mean, you don't always have to do a knot to seal off the ends. It's better not to, but for something that's not clothing, it's fine. So here it is. Here is the granny square star, and I call it the magical star cozy. So let's fit it on to the mason jar. You can go from the bottom, pick the side that you want to be the prettier side as the top. And I think they both look fine. So I'll just start with this, and I'll feed it from the bottom and slip it on, and it's nice and tight at the lip, at the top and the bottom, because I skipped every third stitch. And I'm just going to feed it up to the first lip of the mason jar so that I don't create a fire hazard. So there's that. And then the bottom I can readjust. Now if I really wanted to, I could steam this to just make the stitches relax a little bit. But I think this is lovely just as it is. And I hope that you were able to finish your candle cozy as well. And thank you so much for staying to the end to watch this video. I really appreciate it. I hope this tutorial has helped you make a really cool candle cozy for yourself or for someone as a gift. If it has helped, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to help my channel grow so I can create more of these tutorials. I love to share what I've learned, and I'm learning as I go, so there might be better ways to crochet that I'm showing you, but this works, and there's really not any wrong way to crochet. So I feel very proud of this, and I hope you are happy with the results too. And if you want the printed version, don't forget you can go to part 2 of this video, and it has it written out so you can take a screenshot of the pattern. If you want a paid version that has pictures and is in more detail, you can go to my website at thek4project.etsy.com and find the magic candle holder cozy on the website. And when you purchase the pattern, a portion of it goes towards helping animals in need. So if you go that route, I appreciate it and thank you. So I'll see you next time. Happy crocheting.